Hey everybody! Everybody. Let me make sure the volume's up all the way. Yes, it is. It is. What up? What up? What up? Ooh, 19 people. You guys are so good. You really want to see the van, huh? So I've got the big mic in my hand, and I am going to. Hey Maggie. Hey Pam. Hey Judy. Oh wow. Other Pam. Who else? Might be sleeping at this time. All the best. Thank you, Mahadi, for jumping on. You can watch the replay. Hey, Sly. So this is the Qwent slash van tour. So I'm gonna start in the front. Then I'm gonna go to the back doors. Then I'm gonna go to the side door and then inside. So the inside will be last. That way other people can come on in here. So I'm gonna turn the camera around now and show you the passenger side, which has a lot of stuff in the seat, but anyway. All right, so this is the passenger side. And look where I found a place to put the helmet, y'all, on top of the extra propane tank. I just figured that out today when I was trying to straighten up a little bit. Anyway, that's where the helmet's gonna live for now. So in my passenger seat, I have the extra propane tank that sits there. The black backpack is my electronics backpack. So that has like my laptop, my extra old cell phones that I use for extra cameras. It also has all of my, as you can see, it has a tripod that attaches to the side because the bag is actually a camera gear bag. So all of my electronics are in there. That way I know everything electronic is in there. The only couple of things of electronics that are not in there are like the lights that I use inside, some of the power pack lights, the Luminoodle lights. This red bag hanging on the side holds these screens. Judy, who's on here right now, made these screens for me out of mesh. I had thought she bought them, but no, she made them. I realized she's a great seamstress, so she sews a lot. So what it is basically it's a big pocket. It's a pocket, and so it covers both sides. And I usually just throw one magnet on to keep this a little flatter on that side. So that's the red bag. I have one on the driver's window and one on the passenger's window, so I can put my windows down without getting too many bugs. But this red bag houses those screens when I fold them up and I'm in transit, so those go there. The red backpack is my crafting backpack, so all my craft stuff is in there. The red and black flat pack crate. This is actual crate that folds flat. Miss V gave to me, so I use that when I go do laundry. My folded laundry, once it's all clean, goes in there to bring it back to the van. I'll show you my laundry bag in the back, and then I have a little step stool, which I can't get to the top of my van with this little step stool, so I save it kind of as an extra seat. If there's no other seat, I can pull that out and somebody can sit around the fire if they're coming to visit us and they didn't have a seat. And then some antifreeze, just because I've been having to put a little antifreeze here and there into the radiator. And that's pretty much it. The little things like that don't mean anything. Hanging in my window, I do have some Lucy lights, those Lucy lights. One is flat. There's one right there. It's completely flat. I took the air out of it. And this one is, full. And I've also got a, there's Cardinal. Stay where you are, Cardinal. And I've got one of these solar chargers that I can hook my cell phone up to. So that stays in the window too. All my solar stuff tends to stay in the window. I've got some lights that I use on the outside at night charging right now. These are at Harbor Freight. They're like $12.99 or $13.99 each. And they charge with a solar panel, and then I run them. I didn't run the last 2 nights, but I will tonight. I put them as a string crisscrossed under my van to help deter rodents. I'll also pop my trunk with a motion detector light in there, and that is the solar panel for the motion detector light, and there's the wire so it stays. That helps from if a mouse gets in there and the light shines on them, hopefully they'll leave and not eat my wires and hoses. So on the driver's side, the only thing sitting in the driver's side, which I don't know if you can see or not because of the glare, is a hoodie. That's my hoodie there, and a Pac-Man Snuggie that I put on my feet at night because it's cold. All right, to the back, to the back. Back doors, I got them open, so I would be ready to show you everything. All right, so this is what the back of my van looks like. 100% stays like this, always looks like this. Except for the chair. The chair does come down. I left it in because I wanted you guys to see where the big chair goes in my van, because I do have another one inside I'll show you. But this is the big chair that I use, fireside chair. So I do have shoe pockets on my door, on the one door. And it just houses a bunch of little knickknacks, weird things that you don't have a place for. You know, I got two fishing rods. I've got some plastic bags. I've got some more plastic, different bags. I've got some mouse traps. This is the extra cable from my backup camera, which sits right here in the window. Just very weird odds and ends that I didn't have a specific place for. On this side of the window, I took advantage of just having the extra space in the actual window, and I didn't have another shoe pocket. So this is my sleeping bag, my onesie sleeping bag that I got from Aldi. If you're looking for camping stuff, check out Aldi. Aldi always has cool camping stuff. So this is a onesie sleeping bag. It has the feet, has the hands, has a hood, everything. And I just put it up here because I don't want to be moving it off my bed every night. So it just stays up there. I just drilled holes in the top of this, and I attached to this speaker. I don't have a working radio. I have no radio in my van, so this just became a place. It used to have all of these, I guess, at one point, but when I got it, all these were broken, so it left me a place to put bungees. So I've rolled up different, like the Pac-Man Snuggie is usually sitting up here, just so you know. So yeah, everything has a place in the van. I use everything I can. And there's somebody says I'm breaking up a little. I'm further from my hotspot. That might be why. All right, hopefully it's not breaking up now. Here's Bob the Frog. You guys know about him if you join us on Freaky Friday. If you want to find out more about Bob, then you definitely want to join a Freaky Friday. So this is my laundry bag. I bought this at a laundromat. It is huge. And I put it inside one of the Dollar Tree pop-up bins, and I usually hang my washcloth of the day because I use a clean washcloth every day. I usually hang the washcloth of the day here until it dries, and then I put it inside. This was a gift, red, really large Snuggie type thing that I use. In this plastic bag, which my mattress came in for my bed, I have my fireside clothing. So my fireside clothing is an outfit that I can wear sitting by the fire when it's cold at night. And this is the only outfit that will smell like smoke. I do have a warm weather fireside outfit too, but that's under the bed, and it's been sanitized and everything, and I've gotten the smoke smell out of it. This stuff still has the smoke smell even though it's clean. So until the end of winter, I won't do the deep sanitizing to that until the end of winter. So and down here I have a weighted blanket that was gifted to me, but I don't use it right now. I've used it up until about 2 weeks ago, so I put it away for now because it's the nights are starting to warm up a little bit, and this is just too much for me. Again, this is my big chair, so I'm gonna take that out because I normally don't keep it there. I just wanted you guys to see it there so you could see where I store it when I'm in transit, when I'm moving the van, when I'm driving the van, and I've had to break down camp. So I'm gonna pull that down. And so this is my closet, my clothing closet, and everything gets mushed because of that chair. But I also have my toiletries kit that hangs here. So this is what I take to the gym, my toiletries kit. These are all of my clothes. The only clothes not showing here are a few summer items, which are underneath in a packing cube. This is not the packing cube. The packing cube is in front of that. This is my hair cutting stuff. And this is the old pee jug and funnel that I sanitized because I'm doing a different bathrooming technique, and I'll show you that on the inside. This is a medium weight hoodie that I can wear, and this is my winter coat that I have not needed, but one day I think I use that during the day. So what else back here? I think that is it. All right, that's it. So I'm going to close these doors.
Let's figure out what that voice was. Oh, I'm sorry, you're doing the video.
So I'm going to close the doors, and we're going to, that was my neighbor, go to the side door here. So on the side door, I have this pocket. It had two I think it was 2 cup holders. Yeah, it was 2 cup holders. I cut that piece of wood off and pulled the plastic that was out of there, and now I can use this for little odds and ends. I have a water sprayer here. My what was I say? My umbrella that attaches to my chair when I'm sitting outside during the day, and an umbrella, and there's a shopping bag back there if I go somewhere in California and I have to have a shopping bag. All right, so I'm just gonna ask all my admins if you would please keep posting that I'm not answering questions until the tour's over. If you could periodically post that for me. On the outside, I've got, this is a new little thing. I have not gone inside yet. This is a new little thing, this tray, found it cheap at Walmart, and I decided maybe I wanted to put my shoes. I haven't done it yet. I usually end up leaving my shoes right here at the door. But I was thinking, oh, I could just put my shoes outside the van and not, step, on in, get the dust in the van. But I think I need a rug here first, because if I take my shoes off here, then I've got to step on the ground. So I haven't been doing that. That is a table you can find at Walmart for like 20 bucks. And that's my trash. And that's my extra 3 gallons of water. I also keep 1, 2, 3 gallons of water here. These 3 are my drinking water, along with that 3. My other water is underneath the sink, and I'll show you that when we get in. This was a flatbed sheet that was made for me, but it was made too narrow, so I've made it a curtain for the side door, because it helps to block the refrigerator. But this is my refrigerator. It is an Alpacool. I think this one is the 30. They have a 15, a 20, a 30, a 40, and a 50, and I believe this one's the 30. It is in my Amazon store, my influencer store. So at the, in the description box of my videos, go there. Not my wish list, my influencer store. So right now I've got it on 31 degrees. It's kind of full. I could probably even take it down some. And yes, Patrick, our kids are there. This is a speaker. So this is the only electronics, some of the electronics that are out of their electronics bag. So this is my Bose Bluetooth speaker, and I've got a couple of these little power packs that I use for some of the lights on the inside, and they're me and Patrick's kids. Private joke. This wall is just a piece of that plastic. And remember, if you remember my very first van tour, you'll see this wall in the back. This used to be what was the wall for my closet that separated my closet in the back doors. But I decided to move it up front where I could admire it, because I couldn't see it back there. So I'm not going to take this tray off and show you what's in the fridge. It's not anything special or spectacular. Now we're inside the van. So I usually drop my shoes here at the front door on this soft, thick mat that I've had forever. And there's my beautiful carpet that was gifted to me. The burn part is back there, so I don't see it when I first walk in, because this is where the burn was when the fire happened. All right, we're going to start here in the middle. So this is the seat I sit in when I'm doing my videos, guys, because Miss V bought me this at RTR, during the RTR at one of the vendors. I love it because it's a triangle and I can have a seat inside. So sometimes I'll sit here. I bring it a little more forward, and I'll sit it right here in this space, and then I'll put my feet up on my bed. So I have 3 places I can sit. Actually, I guess 4 places. I don't normally sit in my front seat because it tends to be hot up there, and I don't want everybody seeing me. But I could sit in my front seat. I can sit here. Oftentimes, you will see me sitting here. This is one of those backrest pillows, so I keep it on this door here. So that's one of the backrest pillows. So then I'll sit here a lot of times, and I'll prop my camera up here on the sink. So I have that, and then of course, obviously, I can sit in the bed. So there's different areas for me to sit in. So when you first walk in the door, the first thing you see is the fridge. Then you see my cabinetry. So please forgive these curtains. I'm supposed to be cutting and hemming these. They're the Harbor Freight blankets. I like to use them in winter because it gets really cold up there at night in the cab. So I like to have a thicker barrier than the regular curtains. And the other curtains are under the bed, so they're still around. They're just under the bed. So this is my first cabinet, and these are just the Walmart plastic cabinets. What I did was I put the rubberized shelf liner stuff in the front of all of the drawers. I just cut it down and stuck it in the front of all of the drawers and put a little piece of clear tape at the top to help them from falling down, because I wanted a uniform look. If you can see, all of the drawers look the same, so I'm not looking at all the different color items inside, because that was really what was bothering me about having open shelving, is I wasn't sleeping well, and I realized that that's what it was. It was so much going on the shelves that it was keeping my mind occupied anyway. Is there something wrong with the camera? The video ain't that great. I don't know. It looks okay on my side. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's okay. It's going to move back and forth between the lighting, because when I go into the sun, it gets a little darker. When I move over here, it brightens up a little. So maybe that's what it is. Anyway, the things on the top are my clean dishes container. I have my 2 vinegars. I have a regular white vinegar, and then I have an apple cider vinegar. And this little bin, I have to paint red like I did the one down there. I'll pull that down and paint it red. I have red spray paint that I keep on hand all times, red and black. This just houses some like soaps, a toothpaste. You can see my hot sauce is there. Little odds and ends that I don't want to put in a drawer, because a lot of them are liquids, and if I put them in the drawer, I'm afraid they'll, just tip over and spill in the drawer. So this is my decorating wall. So when you guys want to send me little frogs, that's where they go. I try and squeeze them in. That's why I asked for you guys to send me small things. But that's my wall for decorating. Yeah. It's probably focusing on my finger when I put my finger in. I'm trying not to put my finger in, but I'm trying to point out things. So that's probably what it is. And I'll answer all the questions at the end of the tour. So, just keep in mind what it is you wanted to say. I got this from the DMV online in Virginia, because I wanted a Virginia tag. Now that I have Arizona tags, I wanted something. And now my sink. So as you can see, my sink is really crudely made. I didn't do any kind of gluing down, or because I do need to move this bowl occasionally to get my gray tank out from underneath. So that's why, it doesn't sit quite. It will sit all the way down if I push it down. I can't do it one-handed. This is my sink. It is one of those $8.99 Walmart TV trays that the sides were cut off to make it fit in this space, because this was the only space I had for a sink. This faucet is in my Amazon influencer store, was gifted to me by Victoria, and I've had it for a long time and was finally able to use it. The pump was also a gift from someone, and it uses half-inch tubing. And this was the curtain that I needed made if you saw yesterday's live. So this is my gray tank. And as you can see, I had to cut a hole for the drain to go down in. And it looks like it's loosened up a little. I have a little teeny baby leak. Anyway, the drain goes into this gray tank. This gets dumped when I feel like it's about half full. I wish these had a little strip of transparent, so I could see how much water's in them, especially this one. I tend to dump this one, I kind of know, but it'd be nice to know when I'm low on water. So this is my fresh and gray. This gets dumped. This gets refilled. I don't use this as drinking water. So I definitely don't use that as drinking water. This is for washing dishes and washing my body, washing hands, that kind of stuff. Now, I don't use this sink for both body and dishes. I'm just weird like that. So I wash my hands after I use the bathroom, and I wash my body in here. It does have a drain plug. I got this at an RV store in Havasu. So this is what I use for washing my hands after using the restroom and washing up my body in the mornings. This Dollar Tree red bowl goes inside of here, and this is what I wash my dishes in, and I bleach this out when I'm done with it. So this stays clean, and I either, depending on where I'm parked, I'll either dump the water in here, okay? Or I'll just go throw it outside. So because I use Dr. Bronner's, a drop of Dr. Bronner's soap, but for the most part, I usually wash my dishes with just plain old vinegar. Unless there's something on it, I'll use one little drop of the tea tree Dr. Bronner soap. I like the tea tree because it has some, antibacterial properties. So that kind of lives here. Occasionally I'll leave it in here as well. Like during the day, it mostly lives here because I'm washing dishes throughout the day if I'm going to eat lunch and stuff like that. I don't use a lot of paper plates, even though I have a few. I don't use a lot of paper products. I tend to just eat out of this bowl, or I have another ceramic bowl that's slightly bigger. I tend to eat out of a bowl mostly. This is my cooktop. It sits on top of the second bank of drawers. This one is pretty much all kitchen and food stuff. I can open it if you want. So when I'm driving, I just take this off and I bring it all the way down to here because I just don't want the top drawers to fly open. The bottom drawer opening up doesn't matter. I just don't want one of these to come open, which they don't anyway, but I don't want one of these to come open and the whole drawer to come out because it is just plastic. So I have those on each one. So like this is mostly breakfast food. There's some bagels in there. There's fruit in there. There's oatmeal in there. This one, I'm not going to open every drawer. This one has mostly the spices and stuff like that. I don't like cold ketchup, so I don't put my ketchup in the refrigerator. I prefer room temperature. And this one, which is harder to open because of this. So that's utensils, the few utensils I have. These are my reusable bamboo paper towels that I use, and a few other little odds and ends cleaning the dishes type stuff. This one tends to be more storage. These two tend to be more storage, but still stuff that I get to on a regular basis. I keep my trash bag hanging here because when I use the restroom, I do throw away my toilet paper. So I keep it on this end of the van. Let me move the trash can. I'll show you a couple things in these drawers. More decorations up there. So this top drawer has some incense burning stuff. I got a Deca Uno cards in there. These are my bamboo paper towels. Just random stuff in that one. This drawer has, this is my candy and my overflow drawer of things. Storage. You can see I have some tape there. This is the shelf liner I use. This is my all of my braces, my wrist brace, my 2 knee braces. I have a fold-up cane if I'm having a bad pain day and I need a cane. That's there. These bungee cords hold the drawers in, and there's one on this one, and there's one on this one as well. They are attached to the actual van. There are hooks like this and L brackets back there drilled into the wood shelf that's in the windows, and those bungee cords are attached to there. What else we got? We got the electronics drawer here. And down here, oh, those potatoes. I got potatoes, I got extra food, I got my mug for drinking tea, and those are my only paper plates. And I've got a lot of canned goods on this side. Okay, next tower, or bank of drawers. So what I did was I took the 3 one. I don't know if you guys have been to Walmart and seen these. They usually only have 1, 2, 3. And this one does not like to close all the way because there's something on the floor of the van, a piece of metal that refuses to let it close all the way unless I slam it. So I took 2 of the 3 ones and I stacked them. So I have a bungee here that's attached to the wall of the van that keeps it from tipping this way. And then I've got another one of those thick bungees here that keeps it from moving and shifting. And I've been all over with this thing, and no, the play, there's no drawer for the play drawer. That's the play. All right, bottom drawer. I shared this on Patreon. If you're a patron, I talked about this drawer. This is my bungee drawer, gear ties, and zip ties drawer. That's the very bottom drawer. I'm in that drawer almost daily. This is my feminine hygiene and bathrooming drawer because it's right next to the toilet here. This is underwear, tank tops, socks. I'm not going to open that. This is my medicine cabinet, basically. This is all the medicines, all the supplements, anything that has to do with that kind of stuff. And I'm going to move the tablet. I usually hang that there during the day when I'm watching TV. This one is my hair wraps, some of my smaller hair wraps, and I usually have a whole thing of washcloths here. This is where all my washcloths stay. I do have the extras in the back. So I keep about 10 washcloths here because I use a new washcloth every day when I wash up. And this very, very top drawer has my pajamas and jewelry. The few necklaces and earrings and stuff that I normally wear. Put the tablet up here on top of the stove. And then this whole time I've been sitting on the bed. So let me move this back over to where it was, and I'll show you what's across from these drawers. I'm going to just sit here for a second so you can see the overall situation. All right, so I sit on the bed mostly during the day, but right now I'm sitting on my chair. So that's my electronics wall. It has my inverter, my charge controller. This pink bag is what my tablet sits in if I'm not using it, or if I'm, driving or whatever. This is my backrest pillow that I tend to sit right here a lot of times, and then I'll just prop the tablet up there and watch TV or listen to music or whatever. In a lot of my videos, you'll see that this is where my head is at, and you'll see that in my video. Sorry, every time I put my hand in the in the frame, it's going to try and focus on my finger, so I'm sorry about that. But I do want to point things out to you guys too. So these pillows were gifted to me, and I did a video on that. The pillowcases actually were gifted to me, and I put pillows in them. But there's 4. There's 2 white ones and 2 red ones. So what I did is, there's a windowsill here, because this is a window. I pushed them up in the window, and I used my scarf. I had a long infinity scarf thing, and I attached the scarf to the wall and stuck the pillows in there. So it kind of gives me like a couch feel, kind of, more than a bed feel during the day. And yes, I do make my bed up every day. Those are my PJs. I've got my water bottle that was recently gifted to me hanging up. These are gear ties. I can make hooks out of gear ties. If you twist them together and make an S hook out of it, they hold a lot. That water bottle is full of water, and I can drive and that will not fall off. This is a cloth basket I got from Target a long time ago, back early when I started van life, and I just haven't been able to get rid of it because I find a use for it every day. So right now I've got the 2 Luminoodle lights in there. And this is a dollar store cutlery tray I just drilled holes in. That holds my glasses and lip gloss. I mean, not lip gloss, chapstick, and other little bits and bobs and whatever. All right, what else we got? Obviously I sleep with my head at the back of the van. That's just preferable to me, because if something happens and I need to jump up and get into the front seat, then I can just do so. My feet are already in the correct position. I don't have to turn myself around if I'm halfway disoriented. So back in this dark area, I'm going to turn a light on. I don't know how bright this light is, but I'm just going to hang it up here on the top. This little dark corner is my bathroom. Yes, it is tight. It's gotten tighter recently because I took my yoga mat out from under my bed and it sits there. And also that chair that I showed you in the back tends to close for it. So normally before I close the door, and I didn't hear because I had one hand, I normally pull that, this rack of clothes and push it back some. So it would give me another inch or 2. So normally that would be a little bit more room, but I'm not a big woman, so I'm fine with it. So this is my new toilet setup. I'm now using cedar chips that you get at Walmart in the like the hamster bedding type. But this particular bag of cedar is $3 and I think 48 cents for a kind of a smallish bag. But on the label, it said good for large animals, and under the large animals listing was horses. So I figured if it can hold horse pee and horse poop, then it should be fine with my poop and pee. Oh my God, it's too funny. That was my thinking anyway. This is my bath towel. I did a review video on this, but this is my bath towel, and recently I was given one of these scrubbies, and I love this thing for scrubbing face and body. So, I mean, there's pee in there now, but I haven't pooped in it. But that's the cedar chips, and it doesn't smell. I do not smell. When I open this up, I do not smell anything. So I just throw, I have this bag of cedar, and I have this little scoop. I just throw a scoop of cedar on top once I'm done using the bathroom, so that there's a fresh scoop of cedar each time I go potty. So I haven't pooped in it yet. I've still been bagging my poop because I'm afraid if I mix, it's gonna smell. But I'm gonna try it. I'm going to try and experiment with combining the two with the cedar and seeing if it keeps down the smell still. We'll see. So this is just a shower curtain. You guys voted. If you do the community tab at all, or if you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that this was one of the, I think, 6 curtains that I was trying to figure out which curtain for my shower. I cut the curtain in half. This is the bottom of the curtain because I like the stripes better at the bottom of the curtain. So I turned the curtain upside down and cut it in half. If you notice back here where the sink is, this is the other section. So it's not quite half. I cut maybe, I don't know, 24 inches off of it. But this is the other piece of the curtain. So this is the actual top of the curtain, and these are the shower rings that came with it. And it goes from back behind the cabinet all the way to the front because that's how long it is. So I just stuck it back there. So I didn't want to waste a piece of fabric. Anyway, so I put it upside down. So this is actually the bottom edge. I had to put grommets in it. Harbor Freight sells a grommet kit for like $7.99 or $8.99. Get one. You need it. You always find things to put grommets on. So that's my shower curtain closet door. And the reason why is when I walk into my van before, that view, all my clothes showing, and it bothered me. So I wanted a solid wall there without it being an actual wall. So that's what happened. The shower curtain showed up. Yep. So there it is. I'm weird when it comes to what things look like. I just am. It's got to look, it's got to have an aesthetic to it. It's got to be pleasing to my eye. And it takes me time sometimes to figure out what it is I want to do. But overall, I knew kind of what I wanted. All right, now this is going to be the hardest thing. I'm going to have to put the microphone on the bed. Hopefully it doesn't give you any feedback. Let me know if it does. I'll show you the underneath of the bed just for a quick minute. So I do have storage under my bed as well. This is not stuff that I access all the time. So under my bed, and yes, I do have black and red flannel sheets. Under my bed, this is the foot of my bed, the very foot. There's my battery. That's the first thing. Then I have two of these cloth underbed storage containers just kind of shoved in there, one on top of the other for soft storage things that I have out of season clothes, a couple of extra blankets, I think, lightweight fleece blankets and things like that. You can't see here. Oh, I don't know if this light's going to work. Okay. So this is a bag with files and then a bag with photos, family photos. And then back there, the last thing under the bed is this black Rubbermaid bin. And as you can see, my carpet wasn't long enough. This black Rubbermaid bin has my tools. So all of my tools are back there. I think that is it. Oh my gosh. Whew. Seriously out of breath here. All right. Hopefully you heard all that. So the black bin was the tools. All right, I think that's it. I am going to sit here like this in my front, and you guys can now ask questions. I'm not going to go back and scroll up for the questions that you've already asked. Now's the time to ask whatever questions that you asked when I was doing the tour. How much weight can my van carry? Peacekeeper wants to know. I honestly don't know that because this van did not come with a, owner's manual. So I do not know what my actual weight is right now, but I know it's fairly light because the very back seat, that lays down into a bed was super heavy. And then I had the huge, because this is a 98, I had those huge captain's chairs. My bed is very light. I can lift it out by myself. Very, very light. It's just a couple of pieces of plywood, basically. So yeah, I don't think I have added much more weight than if I were to have those seats in here and, fairly decent sized people sitting in all the seats. I haven't had that issue. So I should go weigh myself at one of the scales. So hope that answers the question. How are the plastic bins not on the wheel wells? So because the wheel well for my two back wheels, one is where the bed is, and the other one is across where the toilet is. So no. None of the plastic bins are where the wheel wells are. Part of the wheel well is where the tall one is, but it's not as deep as the big one, so it's okay. It sits in front of the wheel well a little bit. So yeah. So Crystal wants to know, so I'm composting now. It's not really considered a composting toilet People really say composting toilets, but if you're not going to compost your actual waste, then you're not composting. So it's not really a composting toilet, but I guess you could call it a quasi composting toilet because I am using what people would use in a composting toilet, which is the cedar chips. But yeah, I'm not composting it. It takes 6 months for your stuff to compost, to turn into actual usable compost. So no, I'm not carrying pee and poop around for 6 months. So no. Trusting your process wants to know how I made the closet. So I'm going to come back and show you that the closet is actually a real closet thing, adjustable height closet thing. It's in my Amazon influencer store. It's $14.99, I think. It's less than $20. I just got it cut down. It does have 2 metal poles across the bottom that hold the 2 feet on, but I got someone with the saw to cut it down to 22 inches. It was 32 inches, I think, 32 or 33 inches, but I needed it to be 22 inches. So I got like 10 or 11 inches cut off. So that's how I made the closet. So the closet is a real adjustable height. And I made sure I got the adjustable height one because I wanted to make sure if I get a different van, I can just raise it up higher if I get one with the higher top. So this is the time for the questions. I am taking questions now. Someone wants to know, where do I dispose of the pee bag and how often? So with this new system, I'm able to pretty much keep the pee in there until it gets too high, you know? So I think I went 5 days and I just throw it away. So it's double bagged. The first bag in the toilet is one of those thick, heavy duty contractor bags. And then the other bag is a regular stretch and seal type bag. So I just take the whole bag, tie it in a knot, and go throw it away. Just throw it in a regular garbage bin, just like, you know, baby diapers, doggy poo, it's all the same. Somebody wants to know, do you think you have more space with the bed lengthwise versus widthwise? Have you ever set it up that way? This van is not wide enough for me to sleep widthwise. That was the first thing I wanted to do in this van. I thought getting a bigger van would allow me to do that. But I'm only 5'4", but my head and my feet were touching the 2 windows, and so that wasn't going to work for me. So if I get another van, I will make sure that it's wide enough for me to do that because I really do want my bed widthwise. Because I'd rather have a square of space in the middle here. Because if I could turn my bed around and have it be widthwise, I would take this whole shelving system here and I would move it over here by this door or over here, depending on how, you know, where the bed ends up. So I would put it here like that. And then this one would slide down next to the sink, and then the toilet would obviously slide down. So that my bed is only 30 inches wide with the potential of being only 25 inches wide because that's how I had it before. So I can make it even skinnier if I wanted to. Thank you. Thank you so much. I definitely wanted that color scheme. Red's my favorite color, and I've always loved red, black, and white and gray together. So that's my color scheme, and I just prefer it that way. I do have a hose for my cooktop. It's a different hose than the Wave 3 hose. I didn't show you guys that, but I have this hose here. And right now where I'm sitting, I have my second propane tank. So I have 2 20-gallon propane tanks. So I plug it into that at night for heat or if I'm going to cook. If I'm going to cook, I just put the hose on one of the green bottles right here and I cook. Because cooking doesn't take as much use of propane as having the cooktop on low all night for heat. Going back and I'm looking, where do you keep your self-defense knife now? Oh, I didn't show that because I don't want it to be shown. But it is near the bed. It's near my bed within arm's reach, the knife and the taser. Have I thought of Velcroing artificial grass on my stairs? You mean on this first step right here? No, I've never thought of that. That's interesting. I guess I could wait there maybe. No, I haven't. Mama's boy wants to know, do I get lots of condensation? I do not get lots of condensation. My 2 front windows are always usually cracked at night when I have the heat on. And I have a sliding window on this, a sliding slider on the bottom of this window that stays open, and a slider on the bottom of that window by the toilet that stays open, a crack. So I have some ventilation going. So I don't tend to see any condensation. I don't see any on the windshield unless it's extremely cold out. But no, I don't have a lot of condensation. And you guys have to remember, this is not a metal cargo van. There's no metal showing. The only condensation I would most likely get is on the windows. And I do get that occasionally, depending on how cold it is outside and how high I have that heat on, which I tend to keep it very, very low and just pile on the covers on top of me. But if this were all metal, then I would get that condensation. This was a passenger van, so I don't really tend to get the condensation. Someone's saying they can't hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me now. Am I thinking of upgrading my van anytime soon? I would never get a Sprinter. Sprinters are more than I can afford, and I don't want any kind of car payment. And no, I'm not going to upgrade anytime soon. I just don't have the money. So maybe in somewhere between 3 to 5 years, I'm thinking I might be able to get one of the small schoolies, but I've got to be in a position where I can afford the extra gas. Hi, Clarity. Cardinal is very interesting, well organized, cozy, cute, very well done. P.S. Good thinking on the horse comparison. Yahim wants to know, is it hard living in a van? Not to me. I don't think so. Oh, someone wants to know about my solar. Yes, I didn't show you the solar. Let me stand up on top and I'll just show you quick the solar. It's 200 watts. So there's my solar. It is on my luggage rack, and it's 200 watts of solar, and my battery is a 200 amp hour battery. And there's my charge controller. Although the charge controller is only partially working, unfortunately, my display is gone, but I know I have power going into it. If I ever question that the battery is too low, I would just start the car up because it's still hooked up to my alternator. So if I start my car up and let it run for like an hour, that'll help charge my battery as well. And my battery is under the bed, under the foot of my bed. I showed that. You'll have to go back and look at that if you didn't see it. Do I get hassled by the police much? I currently am parking on BLM land out west, so no, I don't get hassled by police. And when I'm traveling back over to the East Coast, I stay at rest stops. So, you're kind of expected to sleep at rest stops. So I don't usually have an issue with that. Only when I get back east and I want to park on someone's street parking. I don't have a lot of friends with houses, so it's not a lot of driveway parking. A lot of times I just park on the street, and I tend to not get hassled. My van looks pretty plain on the outside, so I tend to not get hassled. Yes, all of my windows open. I don't have pop-out windows. My back windows don't pop out. They don't open at all. My big windows have sliders on the bottom, and yes, I can reach them because it's just pillows there. I can't really reach this one because the handle is back behind this cabinet, but I can reach that one because the handle's back where the toilet is. And this window has a pop-out window on this side. I did not mean to show that, but sorry. Are you going to uncover a window when the weather gets warmer? What do you mean? No, I do not uncover my windows when the weather gets warmer. I have the original shades for these windows. I can go outside and show you on the outside. Oh, I gotta put my shoes back on. I'm trying not to show anybody's vehicle that's camped near me, and I forgot about that, so please forgive me. Keep the camera down. So these windows have shades. They're brown, they're tan, because the color scheme of this vehicle is like a reddish burgundy and tan. So I keep this one usually up here, and these slider windows do slide open. So no, I keep my windows covered at all times. I have a backup camera. This was a gift, so this window stays covered. This is the only window that does not stay permanently covered, because when you're driving, you want to be able to use that side window if you need to. I tend to not use it, but I like to. And this is the only window that pops open as well. So no, I do not uncover my windows when it gets warmer out. I have two different fans, a bigger fan and a smaller fan. And I will open all the bottom windows, and I will change these Harbor Freight blankets in the front back to the thinner curtains, black curtains. So yeah. Going back, answering more questions. What if I use for heat? Well, I have a Wave 3 heater. And I also have my cooktop, which I'm using the cooktop right now because I need to return the Wave 3 to get replaced. How much water do I have on board? This container, fresh container, carries 6. The outside fresh container carries 3, and then I keep 3 1-gallon ones refilled for drinking. These are my drinking water, and the one outside can be used as drinking or any kind of water because that container's been sanitized. This container, when I got it, was never sanitized, so this container tends to be dishwashing and body washing water, even though I cleaned it as best I could. But you can't get into that and sanitize it like you can and I can't take it to the place. And there's a place in Havasu that sells water that sanitizes containers, but this one won't fit into their machine. So I kind of cleaned it as best I could. So 6 and 3 and 3 more. So that's 9, 10, 11. That's 12 gallons total of water if everything is full. So, hey Frank. Frank wants to know I had some pliable hooks that I hung stuff on, and where did I get them from? So the hook you're talking about is called a gear tie, and I have a whole Amazon list with all the gear ties in it. They're awesome. And they come in all sizes and all kinds of thicknesses. I think there's one slightly thicker than that, but I will show you here in my bin. I have different gear ties here. So I have some orange ones, which are the original gear ties, the actual name brand gear ties. They tend to be a little bit costly, but they're so worth it to me. So whenever I find them on sale, I get them. You can get them at Home Depot. A couple of Harbor Freights I've seen them in, but not all the Harbor Freights have them. But I do have them in my Amazon influencer store. If you go to my Amazon, amazon.com/store/CrystalVanner, you will find a whole list of gear ties and zip ties and stuff. And what else do I have? I have little teeny ones too. They come in little. This you can find at Walmart. It's called Gear Snake. It's not as heavy duty, but it works for smaller, lightweight projects. And these red ones were gifted to me in different sizes. So here's another brand if you want to go to this brand. And I love the little ones because a lot of times I use the little ones just to put around wires. If I have wires that need to be, corralled together. All right, another question. Are there people who take on a passenger for 2 weeks? I could not tell you. My house looks a lot different now. It does. A lot more room. Let me put this back. The gear ties back. Close the drawer. So I'm just going to sit here in the middle again, answering questions. I've scrolled back down. Trust in your process. When you come back to ATL, I need you to help me with my setup. This is what I wanted you to do for your van, Pam. I wanted you to set yours up exactly like I had mine. I mean, I don't know what you wanted to use for storage on this side, but I kept saying, put your bed on the side, put your bed on the side. So I was like, please, I want her to put her bed on the side. I know you're taller than me, so you might not be able to store anything behind your bed. You might want to push your bed all the way up because you are several inches taller than me, I believe, if I'm correct. I'm 5'4". I want to say that you're about 5'7" or taller. So if I were you, because you need the extra length, go ahead and push your bed all the way almost to the back doors and make sure you have the length. As long as you can open the one side door, which I don't open this second side door very often, unless I'm getting underneath to my battery there, because my bed is open on both sides, so I can get to my battery there. But yeah, as long as you can get in and out here, then, you're golden. And I also didn't want to put a headboard. It would be nice to have something to lean on when I sit there, which is why I sit here sometimes instead of here. But I wanted to be able to get out of that door. I wanted to have access to all of my doors to get out of. I want to be able to get out of this side door. I want to be able to get out of my back door, and I want to be able to get out of my driver's door in case anything happens and I need to make an escape from any of the doors. And this is the door that has the handle on it. Both of the back doors, I don't know if you guys know about barn doors or cargo doors, at least for this age of a vehicle. They don't both have handles on them. You have to open one, then the handle is on the inside to open, or on the side where the two doors meet to open the other one for me. So this is the one that has the handle on it. So I can pop that open, push those pillows out, and jump out the back if I need to. Lena is saying I could use kitty litter in my toilet. I didn't want to use kitty litter in the toilet because it's very heavy when it gets wet. That's why I didn't want to use kitty litter in my bucket toilet. That's why I went with the the pet bedding type stuff, which is the cedar that I'm using right now. That's why. Someone wants to know about the collapsible tea kettle. It's in my Amazon influencer store, so go ahead and go there. I don't remember the name of it. The width of my bed is 30 inches by 75. When I started van life and up until getting this mattress, my bed was 25 by 70. So I've never had a very big bed, and I'm considering cutting those 5 inches off because it does hang over the bed. The plywood that's on the bed is the same plywood I've had the whole time. So, yeah, I'm considering cutting the 5 inches off of the bed to give myself a little bit of extra aisle space there. I like having the free aisle. It's nice having the, the extra room, but I don't really need it. I mean, it's not, I'm a side sleeper. I don't really need it. What type and make is the battery? The battery, oh gosh, I think it's the Renogy 200 deep cycle battery. It is also in my Amazon influencer store, and I will double check that after this video and make sure it is, but I'm pretty sure I put that battery on there. The kit with the panels is a 200 watt Renogy kit, and I think the battery is also a Renogy battery, but I will double check that. 200 amp hour battery and two 100 watt panels. So 200 watts of solar coming in to a 200 amp hour battery. What jobs do some van dwellers have to keep them going? It depends. Anything you can do online, you can do as a van dweller, basically. Thank you, Maggie, for... Did I ever think about getting a stove? You mean an oven? I'm assuming that's what you mean. No, I do not need an oven because this setup would not work with an oven. I would have to completely reconfigure this whole thing. All I need is the cooktop. I don't need to bake anything. If I really want some cookies or something, I will just go and buy some cookies. No. Or find a friend with an RV. Thanks for liking the video. I'm hoping the rest of you guys give it a thumbs up because I am missing some. Someone wants to know, do I have an outdoor shower? I do not have an outdoor shower. I'm considering putting one in between the two back doors. So I'm basically thinking of using some sort of opening the two barn doors and using some sort of PVC across the top of the barn doors and putting a shower curtain there that I could shower in my back doors if I wanted to, as a backup. But I have a Planet Fitness membership, so I tend to just wash up and take a actual shower once a week at the Planet Fitness. When the weather warms up, I usually take a shower twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Depends on where I am and how sweaty I am. Do I have a screen for my sliding? I don't have any sliding doors in this van. This is not a minivan like in my other van. This has barn doors. I do have a screen for this door. However, I need it cut and sewed and hemmed up, and it's too long because it's not made for a van. So I don't have that up right now. When I get a fly in here, I just try and get it out before I go to bed. And if they don't come out before I go to bed, then I use the fly swatter. Shays wants to know, to see a fresh/gray tank levels, tie a solid plastic string to floating ball a few inches longer than tank full empty. I can't do a plastic ball in here because if you look, it's a very small hole, and I don't know if I'd be able to see in there to see where the plastic ball is, to be honest with you. I just kind of pick them up and jiggle them and see where they are. Someone wants to know how long my water lasts. I'm very, 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 very good about keeping water. So this 6 gallons, I can get, oh gosh, I've never let it get empty, so I don't know. I usually just fill it every 7 to 10 days. So I've never let it get completely empty. I think only one time it was completely empty, and I think that was at RTR. Was completely empty. But yeah, I tend to not let it get empty, so at least once a week to once every week and a half, I go back and refill that. Someone's telling me my video is breaking up. I'm sorry that the video is breaking up. Thanks for giving a thumbs up. Sawdust works good for litter too. I wanted that cedar because I wanted that smell. The pine wasn't as strong of a smell to me. The cedar has a really pleasant smell to me. Because only for the sake of this video did I put the top of the toilet down. I usually have the top up all the time. So when I go to sit down, the top is up. So I didn't want anything that was gonna have any odor to it. So what do I use for a fridge? This is my fridge. Matter of fact, I need to close this curtain a little because my fridge temperature just went up a little. So my fridge is an Alpacool 40. No, 30, not a 40. This is a 30. It is also in my Amazon influencer store if you're looking into this type of a fridge. It's a compressor fridge, so it will definitely get to its temperature and turn off. You always want to make sure you get a compressor fridge. You don't want something that's going to run the entire time. This is going to suck up all your batteries. It doesn't seem to do much of anything to my batteries. Someone wants to know where my spare tire is. My spare tire is underneath. Yes, this kind of van has the spare tire underneath. And on the side of the bed next to the, actually next to the, the laundry hamper in the back, that's there's a wooden door there. I forgot to show that, but that's where my jack is, and that's where the rod is to lower the spare tire. So yes, my minivan had the spare tire underneath as well, which I don't like, but it is what it is. Kathy says, I'm sorry that I said all root beer has no caffeine. Most don't, but the Barks root beer contains 1.83 milligrams of caffeine per fluid ounce, according to to internet. I hope you're feeling better. I am feeling better. I'm still taking the antibiotics for the UTI. I'm good to go. Do you know the length and the width of the solar panel? I do not, but if you just go on Amazon and Google 200 watt Renogy kit, it has all the specs there. What are my yearly van maintenance expenses, living expenses? I don't have any of that calculated. I'm not one of those van dwellers that does that. It's an old van, so a lot. I just was able to get work done via a guardian angel. So it's a lot. It's a lot because it's an old van. So, you know, it is what it is. Everything is running fine so far. A couple little things like 2 back tires are needed and a tune-up, and I think I'm good. Clarity says, as the owner of a kitty, I can tell kitty litter is very heavy when it's dry. Again, made a good choice with the shavings. Excellent with the escape routes. I know I don't like one way out. You know I don't like one way out. Yay, I get a cookie baking pass in the room or the RV. Sweet. Arcuria, I can't pronounce your name. Do I still buy water from the Dollar Tree? No, those containers are refilled at the machines. There are machines all over Arizona and even in California, and I've seen them more so. I've seen them a couple places at Walmart and stuff on the East Coast as well. But there are machines you can refill your water containers, even the big 6-gallon container. And it ranges from 37 cents down to 15 cents a gallon. So no, I just reuse the containers from the Dollar Tree. I like the screw top containers, so I tend to buy the screw tops. I would like to get 2 more of these kinds of containers, but yeah, I just buy the screw top containers. How do I select reading material for the book club? Oh, wow, that's a really random question. The book club is a podcast, so I don't select reading for it anymore. We don't do actual books anymore. We do a free podcast, and the description box below each video, I believe the link is there for the calendar, crystalvanner.com. If you go on my calendar, on my website, you will see my calendar there. You will see the book club there. It has a list of all the books in the podcasts that we listen to. So that's how I do that. Someone wants to know, what am I running on my 200 watts? So I don't run much. So I have my fridge that I run on my 200 watts. I have my cell phone. I have my tablet, and that's about it. I do not have any other electronics. I do have a Harbor Freight 750 watt inverter that if I plug in my laptop and need to do some work on the laptop, I will do that. But that is so very rare, and I'm usually pretty quick with getting my work done on the laptop. So I tend to not use it very often. And so yeah, I don't run a whole heck of a lot. So just the cell phone gets charged, the tablet gets charged, and the fridge. That's pretty much it. I don't run a heater or anything like that on it. Someone says my van looks like a college dorm room. I like it. Oh, it's Erica. Thank you for helping me with the pronunciation and everything. Will I be in Arizona next week? Yeah, I will definitely be in Arizona for a little while. Good night, Mahadi. Thanks for joining. How is the Wave 3? Is it still working? No, the Wave 3 is actually sitting in the front passenger seat, and when I get back to Havasu, I will have to mail it off to the company so that it can be replaced. I have not boondocked at San Diego Fiesta Island. Two women that I am camped with now, I believe they have. But I have been there. I have been to Fiesta Island, just never boondocked on it. Thank you, Shays, for the tip on UTIs. What is my favorite van made comfort food on the road? I don't really have comfort foods. I don't. I guess chocolate is my comfort food. I guess if you want to say I emotional, because I think when I think of comfort food, I think what do you eat when you're emotional or hormonal, and that's chocolate. But no, I don't cook a lot anymore. When my son left home, I tended to not cook much because I just don't like it. I'm a decent cook, but I don't like cooking, so I tend to not even remotely cook. So I'm all about the quick foods. If I can get a bag salad and eat a big old salad, I'm happy with that. If I can do crackers and sardines or crackers and tuna, I'm happy with that as well. So yeah. Lena says, I've seen collapsible baby tubs. Do you think they would have one for grown-ups? I don't know. I do have a collapsible bucket that's back behind my seat. I didn't pull that out. Actually, it's not back behind my sink. It's right here. I moved it. It is actually behind my driver's seat, I believe. Or maybe I didn't move it. I don't know. Oh, Lord. I cannot reach it. Yep, I think it slipped under my driver's seat. Anyway, I have a collapsible red bucket. I try and do collapsible stuff when I can. When am I going to go see my son and grandbaby? I don't go to the East Coast until May 1st, and so I'll see them at the end of May. Someone wants to know, how do I get internet? Okay, so I did a review on this. Go to my channel and you'll see it. My review video. This is my hotspot. So yeah, I guess that does charge off my battery, but it doesn't take much. So that's my hotspot. It is through NetBuddy. NetBuddy no longer sells the device, but you can find it online. It is an AT&T device, but you buy the SIM card from NetBuddy, and it is $60 a month, completely 100% unthrottled internet. And when I tell you that my tablet is on 24 hours a day, it is on 24 hours a day, just playing Star Trek or music or something. My tablet runs all the time. What else? There's a conversation going on about snow. Erica wants to know, do I cook fish in the van? No, I do not cook fish in my van. That would be something I cook over on the fire, which I do like to do hobo packet meals, which is you take the heavy duty foil, you put your oil of choice in it, and you put your vegetables and or meat of choice, and you cook it on the coals of the fire, not the flames. I like to do hobo packet meals because I don't have to clean up. Yep. Thanks, Victoria, for watching and moderating. I'm trying to. Is the van life a forever thing for you, or do I have a target date? No, as far as I can tell, it's a forever thing for me. I would like at some point maybe to get a small couple of acres of land in Arizona and put a shipping container house on it so I can have a home base. But no, I don't see myself giving this up unless I can't drive anymore. Kendra is trying to convince hubby that they need to do a van build. Definitely you're going to need something bigger for two. I definitely would say for two people, get something that you can have a bed across the width, at least a full size bed. I mean, that's still kind of snug. I think the smallest bed I slept in as a married woman was a queen. So a full is going to be tight. You're going to touch each other. So thanks everybody for jumping on. Those that have to leave, I appreciate you coming on because I'm pretty much done here. So I would say go ahead and rewatch the actual tour. It took place at the very beginning of this video. And if you have any other questions, put them in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming on and watching the van tour.